Hey there, fellas. Alright, so today we're going to continue building up this car, which is a white Lada 2106. I take it you liked our idea of installing a Zeal truck motor into this here Lada. It hasn't been done before. Haven't seen a single one, even though I have done quite a bit of research. In the previous episode, we basically just mounted the motor and gave it a quick start. And so now we get to doing all of the supporting mods, which means we have to install the radiator, the pedal box. We also have to do some welding on the transmission tunnel, connect the gearbox to the rear diff, and we still haven't figured out the prop shaft yet. In any case, we have to get this done. Summer is just around the corner, and this car should be a blast to drive around on dry tarmac. This motor obviously doesn't go up to 10,000 RPM. It's actually quite a low revving engine. But the torque and horsepower rating is still quite... I don't want to say excessive, but it is more than sufficient, believe me. Right, enough talk. Let's get stuck right into it. 7-liter Zeal truck engine swap. Pedal box, steering rack, prop shaft. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. So here's the situation. As you can see, we're slowly welding together a box section, a tunnel for the prop shaft, and here's the prop shaft itself. So far we've just tacked it together. As you might have guessed, we still have a lot of trial and error to do. As for the steering column, you can see that we've sort of brought it into the cabin. We've installed the pedal box down there. Over here we have a brake booster. The clutch assembly is sort of the tricky part. What we'd like to try to do is... we're gonna try to fit a lot of clutch cylinder onto the stock clutch link for this particular gearbox. And here's hoping it gives us enough travel. It should work, I mean, the truck components don't have that much travel to them anyway. So yeah, we'll be repurposing the factory Lada gear for this application. Yet another consideration for this project is finding the proper placement for the steering rack. The placement of the steering rack is key to making everything else in here work. So far, we're just fitting all of the pieces together. We're not exactly sure how all of this is going to work out in the end. We haven't quite figured it out yet. As for the radiator, we've decided to mount it in the trunk. What you see here is a tried and tested solution that a lot of people have done on their race cars. The interesting part here being that this is a Zeal truck radiator. I'd say we're making good progress here. We just have a few more things left to sort out, in order for the car to at least move under its own power. Right, let's do this. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. If we ever get this thing finished... Anyway, we've carefully placed the stock Lada clutch cylinder right here. The position is pretty much factory, as if it was intended to be there from the very start. Also, we've installed a steering rack from a Subaru. It's an unusual combination of a Subaru steering rack and OEM Lada tie rods. But in any case, I have absolutely no doubt that it'll work beautifully. Ivan has done a great job here. Ivan is actually really good at this. It's all looking very nice. He's welded up a couple of mounts, and he's test-fitted the rack. Although he hasn't quite fully secured it yet, due to the fact that we might have to reposition it slightly. Considering that the pinion is extremely close to the clutch cylinder, they might get in each other's way, although we don't know for sure yet. We might have to trim it down a bit in order to install the coupler, but we just might be able to avoid that. In any case, I guess we'll have to figure everything out as we go. As you can see, the wheels are now able to turn, and quite easily too. We are looking pretty good. We're not running any power steering in this thing, meaning that the steering rack is going to have to make do without fluid, making this a regular mechanical steering rack. Whatever. Time to carry on with the sorcery. Hopefully this thing drives really soon. So here's what we're looking at, guys. As a matter of fact, this is one very interesting build. When we first test-fitted the pedal box, well, as you might imagine, it's all a matter of trial and error. The thing is that until you install the steering column, you can't really figure out the pedal placement. But it looks like we've nailed it. Check this out. The wheels turn back and forth. So it's all good. Although you've already seen this from underneath the car. I have to say, it doesn't take a lot of effort to turn the steering wheel. It's actually pretty easy. Now if I may direct your attention over here, we've installed a throttle cable. Everything works just fine. As for the clutch, well, the hydraulic system for the clutch was pulled straight out of a Lada. Seems to work okay. Now if I can find a way to show it to you guys. Oh yes, so while you're filming the inside of the cabin... Okay, the car is rolling away. Whoa there, fella. Anyway, check out this gear lever. The stock gear stick is placed right over here. And it would have been quite a stretch to reach it if we had left it in the same spot. Well, at least we were able to find a simple solution. As for the clutch itself, check this out. It works perfectly. So the main point is that everything works. As for the prop shaft, for now we've sort of roughed it out. It's being held together by spot welds. So we have yet to finalize it. To be honest, fellas, we have put a ridiculous amount of work into this car. So I reckon it's time to wrap things up for the time being. That's it for today's episode. Watch our videos, subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any new episodes on this project. By the way, we still haven't thought of any nickname for the car. Right? Can you guys share your suggestions for a name in the comments? I mean, we can't make up our minds with so many options. So yeah, hit us up, leave some suggestions, give us a thumbs up. Alright, catch you later.